this look for the NYX Face Awards 2017 competition. This is going to be my entry. So I'm going to start off with just doing some foundation. I did about 2 layers of this, and before I added that, I did add an oil to my face just because I have dry skin. Here I'm just blending out my concealer. This step is really unnecessary. You don't have to conceal both sides, but I decided to. I don't know why. I'm going to go ahead and just set that with a powder. Again, the side that you're doing the Broken Galaxy face, you don't have to do that side because again, you're just going to be painting over it. But I'm just going to contour as usual, and then we're just going to move on to the fun stuff. So even though we are going to be painting our face, we still need to slay at all times because we are queen, honey, and we are queen of the universe. So you want to go ahead and make sure that that contour is slayed. And then here I'm just taking a little dance break. Moving on, we're going to be doing the Galaxy Broken Side face. So I'm going to be starting off with black paint and just an angled brush for this. So in order to create this cracked kind of, broken face look, I'm just going to be drawing on random lines. The more random, the better, because you don't want it to be too symmetrical. You can kind of play around with it and see what you end up liking. I end up doing shapes of square, triangle, diamond, long lines, short lines, like whatever it is that you feel, in that moment you can do. And here I'm just filling it in because I'm more of a visual person, so I need to be able to see what it is that I'm creating, if that makes any sense. And you'll see me kind of switch up some shapes as I go along if I don't like it or if I feel like it needs to be further out, etc, etc. So here you'll see me kind of doing that. But once I'm done with that, I'm just going to literally just do the same pattern or idea around that whole area of my eye, and then I'm just going to be filling it in. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with a detail brush. This is really a liner brush, and I'm just going to go in and help smooth out those lines. This way I have more control of how long or how sharp and clean I want the lines, and I'm adding the cracks now as I go because, like I said, I'm more of a visual, so I need to be able to see where I like my paintings to go. So around the eye I'm going to be using an eyeshadow just because it's not safe to use body paint around the eye, so I figured this will do for now, and it kind of blended in pretty seamlessly. So that's what I'm really doing right here. Now we are going to start creating the galaxy. So I'm just taking a ripped up makeup sponge and I'm adding the purple. There's no rhyme or reason to how I'm doing it. I'm kind of just do the purple first, and then I'm going to add the blue, and then once I'm done with that, I'm going to add the pink, and etc. You can add whatever colors it is that you're going for. I really love the idea of the pink and the orange just because it matched my background as well. So I kind of went more of a bright neon, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to add the white. You want to be careful with the white. You don't want to overdo it too much because then it will overpower the whole look and then it will be ruined. So just be careful of your placement with the white. It's really, really important. I'm just taking a dense brush and I'm splattering the white, as you can see, all over my face, and then I'm going to go in and draw shooting stars. So I'm just going to go in with a detail brush and I'm going to underline it with white first, and then I'm going to go over it with the hot pink. In this look, I want the effect so when the neon lights hit it, it'll kind of look like little shooting stars or comets, however you want to look at it. And I'm just going in and adding details of gold. Gold really helps pop it out, and I also splattered some on my face as well. Next, we are going to be highlighting around the cracks. Again, there's no rhyme or reason to how I did this. I kind of just felt like highlighting whichever side. It really didn't matter to me. I know that there's usually a way to do it, but I kind of just went with however I felt since it's galaxy themed, so I felt like it would look fine either way. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to go in and start shading it. Once I'm picking up like a dark brown kind of eyeshadow with just a flat brush, and I'm kind of just shading it in. Once you shade it, it looks more realistic, so you want to be careful of how much product you have on the actual brush. But this step I feel like is absolutely necessary in order to create like more of a 3D kind of cracked face. Totally up to you though, however you want to do it. So you can kind of play around with it and see what you like. Once you're all done, I kind of just went over and just smoothed it out with my finger just to kind of give it more of a transition if you wanted so. And then here I'm just taking another dance break because I was celebrating. I was finally done with this side of the face. Moving on to the Queen Slays of all slays on the other side. We're going to start off in doing our eyebrows white. For this, I'm actually using a product and not paint for this. It's optional if you want to use paint, but I did not. I went with makeup instead. And I'm just going to be using a white liner as well. Again, this is makeup, not paint. Please do not use paint around your eye. It's totally not safe and not worth it. So go ahead and just use any white makeup product that you may have. And then once we're done from there, I did conceal my brows because even though our eyebrows are white, we are still slaying, honey. Okay, so now for one of my favorite parts of this whole look, I'm going to be doing the Galaxy Tears. The reason why I'm doing white paint underneath is because I wanted it to glow once the UV light hit. So this is the reason for why I'm doing the white paint. You don't have to do this step, but if you want it to glow in the dark, you're definitely going to be needing this step. So I'm kind of just doing the white, and I did kind of like loose watery paint to help it drip down. And then I'm doing a mixture of glitter. So here I'm using like a fuchsia purple, then I go in with like a soft baby pink, and then I'm going to go in and drag some of that down into the actual tears, and then I will be switching it out and adding kind of more of a champagne type of color, which kind of in person, I know it's kind of hard to tell in video, but I did use a champagne color, and in person it looks beautiful, so gorgeous. So now here I'm just shading. Again, this step I feel like is necessary, especially when you do tears, just because it kind of helps determine where your actual tears are falling instead of more so blending into the skin, if you know what I mean. So now moving on to the chest, and yes, I am wearing a top, just so we're all clear on that. I'm going to go ahead and start doing body painting, and I'm going to be using black. Black is going to be my base, just like same thing we did with the eyes. So I'm just going to go ahead and cover my whole body in black. It doesn't really matter if it's streaky, you're going to be covering it up anyway. So if you want to add a second layer of paint, you can totally do so, but I feel like it wasn't necessary in this step. So once I'm all done with that, I'm going to go ahead and just have a little fun here. You'll see me kind of draw in NYX, and yes, I did flip it just because I was looking in the mirror and I totally spelled it backwards. Don't judge me. But NYX, this one's for you, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for offering these types of competitions for us. So you'll see me paint literally everywhere, my hands, and then I'm going to go in and do the same thing that we did on our face. So I'm going to go in with this vibrant purple first, and I'm using the same ripped up sponge, and I'm just drawing random patterns. The reason why I do the ripped up sponge is because it kind of makes it look like clouds in a way, to represent the same thing going on with my background. But I'm doing shades of purple, and you'll see me kind of play around and see where I want the colors to go. And this is totally up to your imagination, you guys. You can, use as bright colors as you want, as many bright colors. You can use, more softer tones, whatever it is that you're going for. And you'll see me kind of go heavy on some of the shades and then more so like light towards the end, just because I want it to look diffused. You don't want everything to be super, super bright and pigmented. You want it to look faded, I guess, in a way. So here I am just adding the blue, and I'm doing the same thing. So all these things that I'm going to be doing are just going to be repetitive now at this point. And I'm just doing the hot pink, and then I'm doing the white. And the white, again, just be careful of your placement of the white. Since this is a bigger surface, it's okay to add a lot more white into it just because you want it to kind of break it up. And here I'm just doing the same paint splatters with the white with just a dense brush. And then I'm going to go in and I'm going to start drawing my little shooting stars. I am going to be underlining it with white always, just because I want it to have more of a dimension to it. You don't have to underline it with the white if you don't want to, but I thought it was a nice little touch. And then I'm just going to be doing the same thing on my chest. So I'm just going to be adding one comment star on here because I felt like my chest had a lot going on right now, so I didn't really want to add too many. I'm going to go over it with a orange, and I'm going to be doing that for most of my comments because I want it to really glow once the neon lights, once the UV light hit, I'm sorry. Here I'm going to just be adding some touches of oranges. You do want to be careful where you place your oranges just because the UV really picks up orange and pink, and since they're close together you just kind of want to be careful of your placement. Then I'm going to go in and do the metallic gold again along my shooting stars. I feel like this brings more dimension to it. It's more fun. It's more appealing to look at, I feel. And then I'm just going to go ahead and splatter gold metallic paint everywhere. Once I'm done with that, I'm literally just going to fill my lips with a black liquid lipstick. You can use whatever shade you want, and I just decided to add touches of purple. And from there, I literally just added my white lashes, my wig, and my crown, and then the rest of my costume. And that's all that I did, you guys. I didn't want to do too much on the lips, but that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and NYX, I hope you enjoyed as well. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time on my next video. Love you guys. Bye.